right? It highlights the importance of frugality, financial discipline, and living below our means, right? Living below your means. If you earn a certain amount, don't spend a certain amount. Spend way below, right? Wealth often results from habits, not high income. There's a lot of high income people that have no wealth because they don't know how to manage money. And that goes back in, ties right back into the money personalities that we were talking about. Okay? Now, quotes and meanings. He says most wealthy individuals do not live in Beverly Hills or drive fancy cars. They live frugally. Quotes and examples. Yeah, because I wanted to give you guys examples. Sorry, examples, not meanings. I wrote that wrong. So the example is a self-made millionaire accountant, right? He drives a used car or lives in a modest home. It doesn't mean that he's driving a putt-putt or he's driving something that's going to break down, but he's driving something that is still good, right? But it's not flashy, it's not a Bentley, it's not a Jaguar. Okay, and nothing against those. If you can afford, if you make so much that is only probably 2% of your income, why not? Go ahead. It's relativity. It's all, remember this, it's all relativity. Okay? It's all relativity. All right? So, right. So a modest home. Okay? Financial independence is more about your lifestyle than income. So example, 2 engineers, they earn the same. One invests 20% of the income and he builds net worth. The other engineer spends freely and he still stays paycheck to paycheck. That happens all the time, right? So your financial independence is about your lifestyle, is not just your income. But what I say, right? Try not to say, right? What I say is let both work for you. Number 2, the next chapter was frugal. Millionaires avoid debt, unnecessary purchases, and status-driven spending. So something like, as I said before, that the Bentley or the Balenciaga bag, right? Just for the red bottom heels, just to say that you have it. Okay, that is status-driven spending. You are basically borrowing the status of the brand name. And really and truly, if you think about it, as I said to you before, and I want you guys to always think about it this way, you are paying somebody a lot of money to advertise their own brand. Okay? Smoke and mirrors, people. Smoke and mirrors. So, efficient allocation of resources over displaying wealth. So you allocate your resources, probably instead of you having different diamond watch every day, right? Displaying wealth all the time. Okay. And there's an old saying too, that the people who don't have always want to show like they have the most richest and the most bling, right? And that is true. So don't be fooled, people. Don't be fooled by people flexing on you or, having to try the richest, show the richest lifestyle. Yes, it's true. And it's not a judgment thing. Yes, it's true. We do like to enjoy nice things, but get good quality things and take care of it. And you can still look nice. You can still look put together. You can still look expensive. It's just a matter of taste. You can't buy taste. That's one thing that we learn in finishing school. You can't buy taste. That's one of the things you can't buy. Have your own sense of style, so you never ever have to rely on a fashion brand. Most of them are tacky anyway, right? So efficient allocation of resources over displaying wealth. True wealth equals net worth, not appearances. That's right. Right, more insights. The core habit in this, he says, but you can taste and what you can taste and buy. I don't know what you taste and buy. Okay, Mr. Imhotep. So core habit, frugality. So you develop and rigorously follow a budget. So in other words, you have to determine a budget for your life, right? Determine it first. and rigorously follow that budget, right? Assess purchases for necessity versus desire. Assess it. So that doesn't mean you don't enjoy your money now. Yes, in Guineps, as well as he says Guineps. That's a fruit in Jamaica. So assess purchases for necessity versus desire. Yes, necessity is food, shelter, all of that stuff. That's true. You can still enjoy some of your money. That is true, right? Entertainment and stress relief, it is a necessity as well, because it is sharpening the saw. Go back to the 7 habits of highly effective people. So nobody's saying to be mean or to be miserous or mean to yourself, because you can't take it with you. But know that when you're spending on a desire, just know that's what you're doing. For instance, remember I talked to you about even my hands. My hands are my favorite part of my body. I talk with my hands. I do everything with my hands. However, I don't have cable. I'm not paying $60 a month for cable. I don't watch TV. Whatever I want to watch is because I want to watch it. So I look it up and I'll get it. But I will do my nails for $30 a month. That to me has a good return on investment. Why? Because A, I love to look at my hands. They make me feel good. I do a lot with my hands. I talk with my hands. I present with my hands. And I'm always meeting people. So being polished is important to me. So the return on investment is worth it for me. But at the same time, I'm still not paying $60-something for cable. So I cut back there. So this would be like an entertainment. It's not a need, but it's a desire that I can say, okay, I'll give that to myself. Now, if my income changes and it's between food, my bills, then the coloring is going to go, because it's just a matter of relativity, right? So never ever forget that. Never ever forget that, right? So small daily savings compound greatly over time. Yes, we were talking about that. Investors, Guinea, watermelon, pineapple, taste and buy. I don't know what the men are talking about. That that might be a different life. Stick to a strict budget, right? Differentiate needs versus desires before purchasing. Yeah, so look at something and say, this is the discipline here. Do I need this? And do I need this right now? Hi, Ricky Tan. Good afternoon, my dear. Nice to see you. Do I need this? Right? Differentiate needs versus desire before purchasing. Remember, I told you about what happened to me right before COVID hit, right? Because I've always wanted that is R8 or R4, that Audi. I was looking at it, and I was like, I want it. But I know myself as the flyer. So and it takes everything out of me, knowing myself, to stop myself and protect myself from myself. And I didn't. I said, no, you know what? Discipline. You don't need it. You really don't need it. And I remember my father's words, which was, not because you can buy something means you can afford it. Right? So, okay, didn't buy it. The very next month, COVID hit. What does that mean? Most of my business have to do with events and people being out and about. Right. So sometimes you should wait, especially when something is not a need. Right? Especially when something is not a need. That impulse to say, oh, I have enough to get it now. Wait and see. What if something else happens? Would I be okay? Right? If I make myself less liquid, $90,000 less liquid, or $80,000 or however much less liquid than I am now, is it worth it for something that as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates in value? It's not going to make me any more money. I have a perfectly good car that can hold all my stuff. That's great. It's an SUV, right? Is it worth it? No, it was a desire. Okay. Differentiate your needs from your desires. Okay. We're moving fast today, people. We're moving fast. Now, we're going to go to the quotes and my explanations for these quotes from the book. And I'm telling you guys, I still want you to go and get the books when you can. Even though Imhotep says that people don't like to read. I understand that. You can listen. And if you don't want to listen, then I don't know how to help you. Wealthy individuals allocate resources efficiently rather than displaying them. So net worth matters more than appearances. We talked about that. Frugality is the foundation of long-term financial security. Spoke about that. So let's go over chapter 2. Frugal. We're moving fast today, people. Explains the core habits of frugality among millionaires. That's what chapter 2 does. It emphasizes avoiding debt, unnecessary purchases, and status-driven spending. Like, who are you spending that money for? Who are you buying the red bottom heels for? For who? For you or for other people to see it? Especially when you don't make that much income. Makes no sense. Okay? Develop a budget and stick to it rigorously. Find out how much you're going to do for entertainment, how much you do for your own little, rewards, how much you're going to be paying yourself and where, how much you need for your necessities, and how much you need to put away in case of an emergency. Okay? These are the things that we need to look at as a community, because I want us, and we all can do it. I want us as a people to generate wealth so that our children and our grandchildren can actually benefit. Not just this thing that we see on media, people with all of this money, rich. You don't even know what rich is. I want us to invest, to have wealth as a community, and we can do it regardless of how much. Remember, so this is why I love this book, because, and this is why I chose it, because I don't want you to ever think that, oh, I'm just a driver. I don't make as much as a dentist, or I don't make as much as that gynecologist. So what? How much you make don't mean how much you serve. I mean, how much you save. It means you can save more, but that doesn't mean that they actually do. Okay? So don't forget that, and don't talk yourself out of the saving game. Don't talk yourself out of wealth, out of the wealth game. Don't do it. That's a trick. That's a trick that people like to play, especially people who think that there's limited pie, right? Or like people to be poorer than them. It's a trick. Don't fall for it. Again, every nickel make a muckle. If you earn even $5, you can save 50 cents every month. You do what is good for you, but save. Do something. Don't think that you're losing. It's a trick. Don't follow them. Okay. Now, quotes and examples. So here we have some examples. I wanted to give you examples with the quotes so that you can solidify it in your mind. Wealthy individuals allocate the resources efficiently rather than displaying them. So example, millionaires may dine at home or shop for value. See the same thing I was telling you. Quality over quantity. While others spend to impress others. Right? Red bottom heels and all that stuff. Which, yeah, you don't even look good. You can't even walk in it. It's ridiculous. Right? Living below your means is the single most important factor in building wealth. So, example, a family saves $200 a month by reducing dining out, right? Leading to significant investment capital over 20 years. So, we're not saying to be mean to yourself. Not saying don't enjoy life or enjoy money. You know, I'm all about enjoyment and stuff, right? But relative to what you earn and relative to what it is that you have to spend. Right? Sorry, chapter 3, this is where we are. Time, energy, and money. Now, these here are the resources. Remember, I always say to you guys, I'm going to get a whiteboard. I need to get a whiteboard for this class to actually make it better. Remember, I always say to you guys, energy leaks and resources. These are the resources: time, energy, and money. And you're going to find, pardon me, that time and money, very interchangeable. But we're going to get into that. Okay? And you're going to get into some of the things that he says in this book and in these chapters that I don't necessarily agree with, because it might make sense from where he is, but I tested it across other principles, and we're going to talk about it. So stick around for that. Right. So strategic resource management, prioritizing wealth, creating activities, right? So focus on long-term value work, right? When it comes to your